Delighted to have the head coach and head of hockey operations, Corey Neilson, on this summer edition of the Clan Chat. I know you've been busy. It's not been all Mai Tais and lying by the pool. You've been busy recruiting. And tell us a little bit about your summer. I think you're wielding a sledgehammer and renovating a house too, Coach.
Yeah, I've had a lot of jobs. Obviously, um, the recruiting's been the main job, the focus point, and then my wife bought us a new house, so we're in a temporary place right now. So I had to gut and pull out all the carpets, wallpapers, rip everything down, and now we're in the process of putting it all back together. Plus, the family's home, good to see the boys, and then obviously a little bit of golf on the side.
How has it been? Because, I mean, I don't think we've talked off camera, but I've not spoken to you on Clan Chat since the gold medal in Romania. And that was incredibly special for the Nielsen family, the coaching staff, and two of your sons, key components to that gold medal. How was Romania, and how was that experience as a family?
It was different. It was different. I mean, coaching Jade is pretty seamless, really. He's just a soldier, a robot. Whereas Logan's been more special. So he did call me dad on the bench once. So yeah, it was interesting, but both respectful, both obviously want to do the best for the country. So yeah, I was really proud of him.
And to have those medals and those memories, sort of key things, and you're knocking down walls, you're ripping out bathrooms, you're putting in a hard day's work as far as renovating the family home, and then you think of a moment like that, and you must go, "We're really privileged to do what we do." When you're involved in hockey, it's not really work. I mean, it's hard work, but you love what you're doing, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think it's we're as athletes, we're obviously immensely privileged. I'm a former athlete for myself, but the boys just to be able to do what we do for 8 months of the year, and I like to stay busy. Um, I think it grounds you to have to go outside and pull and lift bricks and um, work work a man's day like a job for a day. It's well, most of the days I've been doing that, and even if I'm not renovating my own house, I'm helping out around the city with Strack. So it's yeah, been busy.
The recruitment's been great. I mean, we knew that towards the end of the season, the likes of Sid and Mitch, Saigo, Schwartzy wanted to come back, and you wanted them back. So that was a nice sort of synergy. But you've been hard at work, and the Braden Burks and the Sammy Itakalios have come on board. Are you excited with the way things have gone thus far?
I am. I think it's got the framework of a good team so far. We still have a few pieces to fill, obviously, but we've kept a little bit of the core. Some pretty good continuity there. I feel like we've upgraded some positions, which is important. And yeah, I think we're in a good. We're poised and primed to do something.
I mean, Sammy Itakalios is looks like the real deal, and it's a goalie league as well. So one of your key sort of things on the whiteboard was to go out and find that guy. And I know a lot of teams are after him, so that's a big one. And if he can bring his success from other leagues and other clubs to us, that should be a real sort of feather in the cap as well going forward, shouldn't it?
Yeah, he's an exciting piece. Shout out to Laura for her wonderful video. I thought that was amazing. It really kind of showed where he's been and what he's done and the level he's played at. And we just hope that that continues. He seems like a really good guy that I've dealt with. He is a hard worker. I know he's incredibly diligent doing his off ice and getting his body prepared. So, um, yeah, it's always a wait and see, but I'm confident it'll be great.
You want to win, bring in a Finn. So hopefully that translates between the pipes this year. Talking about those signing announcements, I mean, it's fun, right? And hockey is fun. Did you like the Lakovic one? Did you get to see Robert Lakovic's film debut? Because he had a big input in that from Australia and Jade Galbraith and all that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Social media is not really my thing, but I did. My wife forced me to watch it because obviously former player Jade Galbraith's in there as well. So I watched it. It's clever. It's cute. Yeah, fun.
Lacko is enjoying his time down there. I'm sure he's enjoying the surf and the swim and all that, but he's playing well as well. Are you keeping an eye on the Australian Hockey League at all?
Absolutely not. No, I got I got lots of things to do. I got a lot of people to follow up with, and Laco's such a great player and a good, diligent soldier that I know he's taking care of himself and he'll come back ready to go.
Talking about leagues and keeping your eye on things, I mean, people, I don't know if people forget, but you were the 53rd overall pick in 1994 by the Edmonton Oilers. Back to back Stanley Cup finals here for the Edmonton Oilers. Is there still a part of you as a young kid with the pangs knowing you were an Edmonton Oiler pick? Or are you wishing the Oilers on, or is it something that you're like, okay, that's from the past, but were you willing the Oilers on?
Uh, yeah, that's a bit of a loaded question. The others were my childhood team, and I was lucky enough to be drafted by them. Went to three, NHL training camps, but they were in a rebuilding phase and they had a billion prospects in their setup. So I was kind of a ways away, and I didn't do myself any favors in some of my performances in the years that were crucial to either making it or not making it. So, um, but was I cheering for them? Yes, I was. I'm always going to cheer for a Canadian team.
I mean, it's unbelievable, but that it's 1993 that the Habs. I mean, it almost seems like it couldn't be that long, but that's where we're at, and the streak continues. And it must be difficult because you look around even our league, you look around the EIHL, and if you thought maybe you had the two best players on the planet, you'd have success. And certainly the Oilers have that in McDavid and Draisaitl, but just that Florida Panthers team is a wagon and really heavy and hard to play against. Is that something you look at and when you're recruiting, going like, we were heavy and hard to play against last year, and then you upgrade on some of those key positions? I mean, hockey sort of came back to that again, hasn't it? That physicality and that truculence and all that.
Yeah, you stole my thunder with that one, Murph. That was my next point that I was going to go with. That's kind of the framework we're shaping up. Obviously, we're not. I'm not going to say we're the Florida Panthers. They've got depth through and through, but that's the core value that we want as a hockey team, and that's what we're building. I think we're a lot closer to that this year.
Yeah, I mean, known as the Florida Panthers. I've talked to several colleagues, guys that work for Hockey Night in Canada and stuff, and they're like, I don't know who beats that Panthers team, and if they keep Ekblad and Marchand and Bennett. I mean, that's a wagon there. Aside from the home renovation and the sort of family time and all the recruitment, it's still a busy time. Like, we've got plenty done, but you still have some key components. I mean, how busy is it daily with agents and players themselves? I know your phone is blowing up most days.
Yeah, it's a necessary evil, but uh, instead of me chasing agents, now they're chasing me, which is it just shows how our profile, the clan profile, is lifted amongst Europe, the agents, players, reputation. So that makes my job, I wouldn't say easier, but it gives us plenty more options.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting because I think we've talked about that a little bit off camera. It's interesting that agents now, no one's chasing agents to get guys to Glasgow, because I think when a Sidorov or a Mitchell Hurd wants to come back, that's a really good sign that something's building. There's a culture and something behind the scenes that's not necessarily tangible or known to the agents, but a Sidorov and a Schwartz, guys like that coming back is huge in recruitment, isn't it?
Yeah, and the guys who maybe don't get as much credit, like Chris Martinets, Chris McKay's, these guys are they're core pieces. They're foundational pieces, and yeah, that maybe they don't get the glory and the goals and the assists, but they're valued. They're certainly valued by Mike. They're valued by me and the organization, and they're huge pieces. But the the fact that so many guys I didn't have to chase. I didn't have to, they're like, oh, maybe I want to do this or that. Some guys are just like, I want to come back. If it works, I'm coming back. So that was where we're at, and I'm happy to say that most of those guys have returned.
You look back, I thought it was a great season because we were competitive most nights. There's every team has a few nights where you go, that's a blowout, and you got to turn the page. But I thought the parity of the league is unbelievable, isn't it? And when you see some of the signings and you even today, I believe Grant Mismash signed with Coventry. I mean, he won a title with the
Yeah.
Giants last year, so that's an important piece because guys that have won something, you bring them in. That's huge for Coventry. So the parity is there. But I thought there was a noticeable improvement from my involvement in year one to year two, and just exciting, hard to play against, physical, and obviously the guys buying in and playing for each other. What are your key takeaways from year one behind the bench in purple?
Well, my key takeaways were we sucked for 2 months, which was really unfortunate. It was real because, as you say, we were competitive. We just we just couldn't keep the puck out of our net, and we couldn't score goals for a lot of the season. So, um, I think it's just you bring in that many players, they have to get used to just how the league works. The game is different. The officiating is much much different. Everything's just a little bit different. So now that we have some of these returning guys, they'll be able to obviously help out with their experience with the other new guys, and hopefully we can build something better.
Yeah, that's huge because we all know how good Sidorov and those guys were, but they were all first year to the EIHL. And no matter what you say to guys on the phone when you're recruiting, oh, it's different. And then there's the cup, and then there's the league, and then there's the playoffs. But until they're here and the experience travel to Guildford after playing at home on a Saturday night, it's a quirky league, right? And we all love it, or we wouldn't be around it. But it's a quirky league. And now the leadership core is going to be able to say to a Braden Burke or a Sammy Itakaliu, look, this is fine. This is great. And I think the big thing that was disappointing, and we all agreed, was that we just started off slowly, wasn't it? It was probably because there were so many new pieces last year in those first 10 games. I mean, even if you're 500 there, you're talking about a totally different position at Christmas or
Yeah,
et cetera.
yeah.
So now that
It's
we have
just
so many returnees, it's important, right?
Yeah, it was unfortunate the way it is. We didn't have a whole lot of players from the year before, maybe for good reasons or for bad reasons, just didn't work out. Some of them I did want back, some of them I didn't. It was, that always happens when there's a new regime kind of thing. But yeah, some of those guys, even that we did bring back, didn't lead, didn't inspire, and that's kind of how it goes. Sometimes you just need a push, and as much as I can scream and yell and piss and moan. It really leadership, especially nowadays, it comes internally. It comes from groups. This generation of guys, you know, they can like coaches, they can hate coaches, but if they're all bought into to play together, they'll do something.
And you've seen it. Like, you were an elite player, second round pick of the Oilers. Now you're an elite coach. You've won Dell 2 Coach of the Year. You've won medals with GB. You've won all those titles in the Elite Ice Hockey League. Does that something that you go, part of your most important role now is the difference between coaches going in and kicking over the Gatorade cooler after a loss when you were 20 years old, and now what you let the leadership do within the room after a loss now that you're behind the bench and there's a new group of 20-year-olds in that room?
Yeah, I mean, I think each coach has their style. Each coach, certain coaches, Pete Russell and myself are completely different, as is Adam Keefe. We all have our strengths, we all have our weaknesses, and I find if I just stick to what I'm good at, I let the other things kind of fall as they may. I mean, if I go in and it's just not. I'm not a screamer and yeller. It's just not how I am. I'm more sarcastic, and sometimes that can wear on teams. So I try and limit that. I just try to inspire them, try to give them the information, and really push and rely on the leaders to make sure that everyone's coming together.
I mean, I guess every industry evolves, and certainly coaching and man management has evolved in pro sports. So, kudos to you for the work last year and the evolution of the group into this second season with you as the head coach. Talk about Mike Sarant as well. I mean, he's such a calm presence. It's so invaluable to have Mike and his wife, the family, back for season two, and then you got Lacko maybe stepping up a little bit more and learning more. So that's really nice coaching staff as well, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Mike obviously is that calm presence, but don't be fooled, people. There's a real simmering fire under there. Like he's passionate. He's really passionate. He's fiery too, especially inside the coach's office in private. Um, he wants to win. He's desperate to win. He wants to He wants to do whatever he can to help the team. It's yeah, we work off each other really well, and obviously Lago I've known forever, and this is more of a developmental project for him, just to see how it's done, be in some of the meetings, learn the video, which is important, and just do the timings of how things are done.
You mentioned Adam Keefe there. The testimonial, unfortunately, I couldn't make it, but that testimonial and the money raised for charity and all the good things that the Giants did that weekend, that was a special weekend. Did you enjoy being in Belfast for the Kiefer testimonial?
Absolutely incredible. Couldn't be more deserved. He's not only is he a really amazing person, but he's such a great, loyal servant of the community there in Belfast. He's just everything. He's so passionate about the community, the city, and developing things. And he's quite an inspiration to a lot of us coaches that we should be better, be more involved. But he just seems to be a natural at it. Just the way he is, his passion, how he wears his heart on his sleeve when he's slamming doors and yelling at referees and all the crazy stuff he does. But that's him, and that's what I mean works for him. The proof is in the pudding with all of the championships and accolades he's won. He's one of the best. He's definitely one of the best in the business. And I look forward to those games. I really look forward to those games because it's a good chess match.
It was a real who's who. I mean, former Stanley Cup champion Mike Richards was their former junior teammate of Kiefer's. I mean, his brother Sheldon was there as a current, obviously, coach of the New Jersey Devils. Was there anyone that you were talking to that weekend, picking brains and swapping stories, and anyone really interesting? You're like, oh, that was really surprising. That was a really good chat.
You know what? I spent a lot of time with the guys that I know, the guys I've coached, and Chris Higgins, Jonathan Boxell, Brandon Benedict. Obviously Dustin Johnner, I played with years ago in Fort Myers, Florida. Always tried to get him back, but yeah, that's Steve Saviano. Like these are the guys that I tried to spend the core part of my time with. But yeah, there was a bunch of Brits there. It was good to see some of the old boys for sure.
Yeah, fantastic weekend. And that's culture building as well, right? Like in year two of Kiefer's tenure behind the Giants bench, he was building towards that. You're going into year two in Glasgow. Talk about it a little bit off ice, because certainly you've got family in Scotland and all that. We've talked about that before. Are you enjoying everything in Scotland and your time there once the season starts?
Yeah, I mean, you know me, Murph. I'm easy. I'm simple. I love my job. I love coaching hockey. I love all that stuff. After that's done, I go and work out, and then I come home and really enjoy a simple life. But that's why I actually like the summer too, because I don't have to work out. So I do all the work off the ice and lifting stuff and dragging things around, and I don't have to go to the gym every single day. And my clothes still fit, so I'm really happy.
Well, I assume you'll still continue to run the stairs with Jerry McLaughlin, who's on holiday right now. So he's really going to need a stair run when he comes back from his holiday with his family. So,
Twice a week, about 2:30, 3 o'clock. If anybody's interested.
well, maybe I'll have to bring over my workout gear and try and keep up with you two veterans of the stair runs. I mean, now when you're looking to, we don't want to give away too much, and like we talk offline and all that. But I mean, there's a few key pieces you want to add, and is it? I think patience is key right now, right? Because there's guys waiting for AHL deals, or maybe they think they can get a DEL deal, and when those sort of things don't materialize, there's good players, there's gems to be plucked out, isn't there, from the player side?
Yeah, I think it's important to understand that part of it. That there's guys who don't get the jobs they want, but there's also those diamonds in the rough. And I try not to just be exclusive about getting a guy with a really good resume and bringing him here and thinking it's always going to work out. We want to find guys on the right trend of their career. Um, Not always, the guys who are just coming down off a formerly good career. So, I'm trying to mix and match and, see who's on that upslide, uptrend, and also continue to build this core and this experience, and that's important as well. So, yeah, there's a few key pieces left. It's important to find them. I'm not panicking, but they have to fit the right way.
I mean, I'm really excited about Brady Keeper as well, a player I've seen play several times in the American Hockey League and stuff like that. Certainly had his bad luck with injuries, but certainly seems to be. I mean, because he's had those injuries, he's available, right? Like if he was on the trajectory that he was on, there's no way he's coming to Glasgow. So it's also sometimes it's timing and a bit of luck on our part that he's back, he's healthy, and he's ready to go. And this could be a great opportunity, a great marriage of a guy that needs the opportunity to get back to that level, and a great opportunity for us to pick up, like you said, maybe a diamond in the rough.
Yep. Yep. No, he's a good person too. He's Chris McKay knows him, which is always great to get a firsthand view of, if the guy's a good guy. My conversations with him were great. Obviously, the video that I watched on him was great. I'm not going to comment on his injury history and stuff like that. That's all in the past. But I know he's healthy. I know he's excited and really raring to go. He really wanted just to be in a good spot and get a good opportunity to play, and that's what we can provide.
Oh, 100%. And if Chris McKay says he's a good guy, then we know that's true. We've got some good people in that dressing room, some good leaders. Chris certainly one of them. So having those guys back is tip of the cap to you on the hard work to bring them back. And things are shaping up. And over the next few weeks and the next month, there will be new additions. But again, I think patience, because there's going to be some players that pop into your inbox, or an agent's going to be on the phone that could be pretty exciting as we build towards this season. And are you excited? When are you back in Glasgow? I guess you'll be back in July or early August at some point.
Yeah, early August, I would guess. Would like to get into my house for early August, first off, but I don't know if that's going to happen. There's a lot of legwork to be done, but as I said, my focus right now is just getting these pieces. Once these pieces are done, the training camp's easy. I mean, that's something that I already have a real good framework basis of what works for us and what worked last year, what will work this year. But those pieces are my focal point, and I'm not rushing. I'm patient, but I'm also urgent. There's a sense of urgency, which I just want that right guy, because it'd be good if I got all four, and then I could have a little break as well, right? Well, yeah, we'll see.
Last question. I mean, it's exciting because the ice is going to go in a bit earlier. We're going to host a couple of teams from Denmark and France, and then we're off to Germany. Are you excited about that? Because that's a different kind of training camp than last year. Obviously, you went to Kaufbeuren last year, but we didn't have the ice in as early. And certainly now we're hosting in our own barn, which to the new guys will be pretty cool because they'll already be used to Braehead and all that.
Yeah, and I think that this should be a goal for the clan, is to play European teams, to get in Continental Cups and Champions Leagues and this kind of thing. So get a little bit of taste this year, nice at home. We'll have a really good little stretch there to build up to those games. They should be really competitive teams, which is nice. And then, see if we have a little bit more when we go to California.
Well, Corey, I know you've been busy swinging a sledgehammer, recruiting, and building a family home. So kudos for taking the time to join us. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your summer, and no doubt I'll be driving you batty on other phone calls. But it's been a real pleasure to catch up and have a chat. And all the best to you and Joe for the rest of the summer.
Thanks, Murph. Cheers.